Calvin, you there with us?
Hello?
Hey,
Good
you there with
morning.
us? What's going on, man?
Hey, how are you guys?
I'm okay. Am I coming in clear for you?
Yep, I hear you nice and clear. You're doing a great job out there, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. You are too. So we want to let the listeners know what's going on out here in LA since we're in the Los Angeles area. Now, before we get into the phone from home, Calvin, can you let people know how they can reach you, how they can reach the Ron Paul headquarters in LA, the phone bank, Facebook or website?
Yeah, sure. What we're at is we're in Venice Beach, California, and that's right by Santa Monica, the Santa Monica Pier. The address for our office is 1728 Abbott Kinney Boulevard, Venice, California. You guys can reach us at www.lalibertyhq.org, and we have a Facebook group as well, and it's LA Liberty HQ, and just look it
Yeah,
up,
and I
join it.
recommend I recommend
Yeah,
everybody joining that, especially if you're in Los Angeles. If you're a Ron Paul supporter and you're near the Los Angeles area, there's no excuse that you're not in contact with someone like Calvin or from the phone bank. You got to be engaged and get as many supporters to get Ron Paul president and to win California. Now, about phone from home, because I know you're at the bank all the time, or the phone bank all the time, or almost every day, and there's others there as well. Um, tell everybody why is it important for every single Ron Paul supporter to be making calls from home or from the phone bank for Ron Paul?
okay, yeah. It's a really cool and sophisticated system, and I'm going to walk you guys through each tier of the way, how the whole system works. And the beautiful thing about Phone from Home is that every Ron Paul supporter is empowered to, sit at the comfort of their own home and just get on the internet, log in, and start calling voters personally and helping the campaigns identify supporters. So the website is www.phone.ronpaul2012.com. It's super easy to remember. All you need is a phone number and online access, and you can get onto it. What Phone from Home does, it's basically the first tier. It helps callers from across the whole country to identify Ron Paul supporters, to see if they support Ron Paul, Gingrich, Rick Santorum, Mitt Romney, whatever. And it's a super simple process. A lot of people are a little bit hesitant to get on the system, but all it does is to really help the campaign figure out who the Ron Paul supporters are, and who's undecided, who's a little leaning, who likes him on certain policies, and it all goes into the system, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, just hold on to that. We'll come back right after the commercial. Just stay on the line, okay, Calvin?
Okay.
You are now listening to the Ron Paul Radio Network at ronpaulradio.com.
Too many soldiers dying over oil pipelines. Too many politicians, too many white lies. We can't see the truth, so our troops fight blind. We need to bring them home and rebuild our old town. We must be united and we must stand proud. We want our freedom back, so we scream.
Still with me, Calvin?
We need a revolution and we
Yep, okay, that's me, man.
Okay, hey, I just want to ask you something real quick. When you called in and I had you on the line holding, did you happen to hear the Ron Paul clip I played with him behind backstage, Jay Leno?
I didn't hear it.
Okay, I was just wondering. Somebody told me it didn't go through. So anybody out there listening, I played a clip of Ron Paul. If you didn't happen to hear it and it blacked out for a little bit, I apologize. I'm going to check to see why that didn't go through. In fact, it didn't. Okay, so back to the interview. So Calvin, basically what you're saying is the strategy is that we're fishing for delegates. We're not really trying to talk with everyone or try to argue or convince everyone, because we're not going to. We're fishing and we're looking for delegates to win. Am I correct?
Exactly. If you're not fishing for delegates, you're helping to get finish up thousands of people on one phone call list. if we have the power to knock out these lists and fish out Ron Paul supporters so fast, but we just need everybody to get on the website, phone.ronpaul2012.com, and just help us call, because, look, the reality is we have lists of thousands and thousands of people, and if everybody just got on, we can get done with these lists so fast, and we can get Ron Paul supporters in an instant, at the snap of a finger, and those people can be then transferred to be called back by the campaign, or persuasion callers like myself or other experienced phone bankers, and we can get them on board ASAP, being delegates, get them their information, and
okay,
bam,
so let's get to that. Let's get to that. That was the next thing I was going to ask. Now, like you said, when you get a delegate, because I know I'll be doing phone from home, I get a delegate on the phone, I save it in the system. So what happens after that? Like, it goes to the Ron Paul headquarters somewhere else, if someone contacts him? Like, how do they know what to do next for the delegate process when they hang up with you?
Yeah. So it does get entered into the system. We have a pretty sophisticated phone banking system, and somebody does call them back. It just shows up on our list when we're calling, and we do have when we have a goal of getting a delegate and giving them out to the caucus. We have a very we are all trained to do so. We are trained in persuasion and psychology and all that stuff to get these guys on the right track to becoming delegates for Ron Paul and getting this country back on the right track. So, yeah, I mean, that's why it's highly encouraged that everybody gets on the phone from home and everybody gets to their local phone bank. And I can tell you guys right now that there's one in Los Angeles and there's one in New York. So, yeah, it's a little bit hard for everybody to get into phone banks, but you can do it from home. And the best thing about it is if you have 3 minutes on the weekends and nights, that would be perfect, because that's free calling right there, and you're saving the campaign tons of money.
Yeah, it's the best thing to do during when you have nothing else to do, when you're just around at the house. But let's talk about the delegates a little bit. Now, how does the person qualify to become a delegate? Or can anyone be one, or is it just different state to state?
Yeah, I mean, if you go on the website ronpaul2012.com/delegate, you can actually fill out a form that lets the campaign know that certain people are qualified or are interested in being delegates, and they'll have you fill out a little mini questionnaire just to see if you can make it as a delegate, if you are a real Ron Paul supporter or not. They may or may not contact you depending on where you are and what they need and stuff like that. So it's anybody can be a delegate as long as you're a Ron Paul supporter. What I feel that works best is that if you just go on the Ron Paul 2012 site and look up your state, find the local organizer, contact him, and let him know, hey, I'm a Ron Paul supporter. I want to be a delegate. I want to do everything I can to make your life more easier. The local organizers.
Okay, now the dates that they pick the delegates, that date is different than the date of the primaries. Am I right, or am I wrong?
Yeah. Every state has a different thing about how they get their delegates and what it means. So for example, in states like Iowa and Nevada and Washington, those delegates are extremely important because they play the biggest role in this whole thing. The whole voting and all that, it's just a popularity contest. It doesn't mean anything. But the delegates decide everything. But in states like here in California, delegates are only awarded by whoever wins the congressional district. They're going to get 3 delegates. And they're chosen at the very end, and they just go straight to Tampa Bay, Florida, at the RNC, and they go vote for Ron Paul there. They don't play a huge role here. What plays a huge role in California, in such huge states like California, is just organization and execution, getting the job done, winning the congressional district, and bam, you get the delegates.
Now, what's the next state that actually votes for their delegates? Not the beauty contest, but actually votes for the delegates. Do you know?
I do believe the first stage of getting delegates is probably in